Hello, welcome to the Wisdom Inspired Talks podcast. I am Yomi Akinpelu, your wisdom coach, speaker, teacher, and author of several books. Today, I'm bringing you another one of my inspiring talks. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing if you find the content inspiring. And if you've already subscribed, I want to say a really big thank you to you. I'm very grateful. And with that said, let's dive right in. Today I'm speaking about money mistakes that keep people poor. Mistake number 1, spending on non-essentials, consumables, and basically things that add no value to your life, like smoking, drinking, doing drugs. It's a big money mistake to be avoided at all costs. Money mistake number 2, spending more than you make. That is an assumption that you will always be in employment and you will always be able to pay your credit cards and waiting on just living paycheck to paycheck is a big money mistake. Money mistake number 3, paying yourself last. That is saving after you have spent, spending what is left after you have spent. Rather, you should save first and then spend what is left after saving. Money mistake number 3, lifestyle inflation, Parkinson's law, when your expenses just expand just because your income is expanding. That is a money mistake. When your income expands, what you should be doing is making your savings expand. Increase your percentage of savings. So if you've been saving 20%, when your income increases, then start saving 40%. Let your savings rate increase when your income increases. Money mistake number 3, keeping up with the Joneses. Who are the Joneses anyway? Why not set your own standards? Money mistake number 4 is always spending on credit cards. When we spend on credit cards, we tend to spend more. But if you spend cash, you feel the pain a bit more, and so you end up spending less. So solution is to spend cash more. Next money mistake is not investing early enough. That is a mistake I have made in my life. The earlier you start investing, the better. As early as being a teenager, you can start investing, or in your early 20s. It's better than starting in your 30s. The greatest key to investing is actually starting early. The earlier you start, the better. A good example is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is not the one who gets the highest returns. There are other investors that actually outperform Warren Buffett. But Warren Buffett started investing at the age of 11 and he's 90 now. So he's had 80 years in the market, and that is why he's the wealthiest investor of all time, because he's had the longest time in the market. Next money mistake is not having an emergency fund. That is about £1,000 set aside. Like financial gurus like Dave Ramsey would say, have an emergency fund of $1,000. And that is because life happens to everyone. You could lose your job. Just one lost paycheck could put you in financial trouble. Or you have a broken down boiler, a car breakdown, and you need it for work, or it's necessary. Then if you don't have an emergency fund, you end up getting into debt, and that can spiral and get you into financial trouble. So not having an emergency fund is a big money mistake. Next money mistake is having just one source of income, because if that goes, then that could lead to a financial crisis that ends up getting you into debt and spiraling. Then next money mistake is being afraid of taking risks. No risk, no reward. So it's a money mistake. We need to take risks in this world. Financial risks from time to time. The more risk you take, the more likely you are to make money, even though you must make sure you don't overexpose yourself so you don't get into financial trouble. Now, the next money mistake is savings only and not investing. It's a mistake I have also made. While saving is very important, it is necessary also to invest, because investment is what grows your money. The savings rate is really low, so you get little to next to nothing really on savings these days. And also, inflation eats up, erodes your cash in the bank, so you need to be investing to grow your money at a rate higher than inflation. Another money mistake is having only one bank account. If you have all your money in just one bank account and you don't you don't put your money in a savings account and some in a current account, you might end up just spending it all. If it's in one, it's easily accessible and you might just spend it all. So have more than one account. Another money mistake is not delaying gratification. You see that flat screen TV or the latest iPhone and you want it now, and so you get into debt. And then you have to start paying interest on that if you can't pay it off. So that is a money mistake. Not delaying gratification, and it's a sign of immaturity. Only children want it now. I want it now. That's children. But as you mature, you should be able to delay gratification. If you really must have it, then save up for it. Don't get into debt for it. Now, next money mistake is not living on a budget. If you don't live on a budget, you won't know where your money is going. Basically, you need to have a budget, because a budget tells your money where to go, so that you are not wondering where it went at the end of the month. The next money mistake is not having 6 to 12 months living expenses. The recent pandemic, and we're still in the midst of it to an extent, but not having that cushion there to tide you over for a period of 6 to 12 months could be a serious money mistake for you, because you'll be forced to do anything, get into debt, take a job that is not going to take you to your desired destination just because you have no other option. And also, if you don't need the money, then if it's investment, if you put it in an investment that is easily accessible, then you can take it, then it begins to yield for you. It begins to grow for you. So it's not necessarily for emergency, it can just be for growth. So you need to have that 6 months living expenses set aside as a cushion for you in troubled times or when the storms of life come along. Now, the next money mistake is not living a frugal lifestyle. You need to live a lean, mean lifestyle. Not depriving yourself, but you need to be frugal. Frugal lifestyle is what is going to ensure that you have something set aside, and it's going to increase your savings rate to invest. Also, another money mistake is spending on conveniences, eating out, just clubbing, going to the cinema too often, always getting a takeaway and not taking your lunch to work, just spending on conveniences is a big money mistake to avoid at all costs. Another money mistake is impulse shopping. Avoid impulse shopping, and you can do that by freezing your credit card in water, putting it in the freezer. By the time it thaws hopefully the urge to splurge would have disappeared. Another money mistake is loaning money to friends and family. If they don't pay you back, that can ruin relationships, so avoid doing it. Only borrow someone money if you can afford to let it go without bitterness. Another money mistake is buying a brand new car. I think it's a money mistake because the moment you drive that car off the parking lot, it loses about 20% of its value or 10% of its value. That is a money mistake in my own opinion. Another money mistake is borrowing money from payday loans, loan sharks. That is a terrible money mistake. The loan sharks, payday loan companies, they are the worst of the worst in the loan industry. They charge you an astronomical amount of interest. You would definitely regret that you borrowed from them. If you do, please do not do that. Find other means of loaning money if you must. Don't ever go to a payday loan shop. It is a terrible money mistake. Another money mistake is staying loyal to your bank, your utilities company, gas and electricity company, or your mortgage provider. Do not stay loyal to them. When the time to change comes, just ask if you can get a better deal. If not, then move to a better deal. Never stay loyal to them. Don't stay with them forever, because they don't tend to give loyal customers a good deal. They tend to give new customers good deals. So always shop around and remortgage if you have to, or change utility companies if you have to. It is a bad money mistake staying loyal to one. It will cost you thousands and tens of thousands. Another money mistake is hanging around broke people or people who do not spend wisely. There's a saying, if you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th one. We often follow the mistakes of our associates, people we hang around with, or their lifestyle. You want to keep up with them. You don't want to be the odd one out. So avoid that mistake at all costs. Hang around people who are financial goals, who are going somewhere, and who are astute in the management of their finances. Also, another money mistake is being a rich pretender. That is spending on designer wear, things that you can't afford basically. Spending a Primark income on a Prada lifestyle is a bad money mistake. And the last money mistake is not being financially literate. When you are not financially literate, you don't know how to buy a car, buy a house, get a good mortgage deal. So the solution to that is read and listen to podcasts like this one, and do your research, learn about finances, be financially literate. That is so important. And that is all for today. I have on my channel playlists on finances, playlists on investments, playlists on success tips, how to manage your money successfully. And I go into more details on all these money mistakes to avoid, and how to live in a way that you will not be trapped by these money mistakes, and how you can grow your finances, because it is so important to avoid them. If you can avoid these money mistakes, you would grow your wealth, you'll be able to invest, and you would be able to become financially comfortable and do better in life. And that is all for today. Until next time, keep on growing in wisdom and maturity. Blow the cap off your capability. Be unstoppable. Be awesome. And please remember to subscribe.